Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Tea and Crystals podcast. I am T.
And I'm Kristal.
Ladies and gentlemen, as always, we are so happy to have you all back with us for another episode of this here podcast. We got a lot of good stuff to get into today, but before we do, y'all know how I got to start this show. Kristal, how are you, my friend?
Good. My show wrapped, or my film wrapped.
Oh, yes.
That was really exciting. A lot of lessons were learned. We had our time. I really enjoyed the people in my department. A lot of them were brand new, and I really hope to see them on other film sets in the future. I think a lot of them have a lot of potential. Some of them, they still have some things they need to learn, but you're not going to learn until you get more experience. So overall, with them, it was a great experience, and I really enjoyed it. And I'm hoping to meet up with them again at some point for kind of like our own mini wrap party.
Okay.
And then I actually have a potential job in the works. I don't want to say too much and jinx anything because the only thing that's happened has just been interviews. So hopefully by next week I'll know whether or not I have another gig or not.
Sensational.
Yeah.
We love to hear it, Kristal.
I know, I'm really excited.
Our own Hollywood correspondent. Okay. Let me tell y'all something. Kristal keeps me on the edge when it comes to what's upcoming in the film world. As somebody who don't watch movies, Kristal and I could not be more like, I don't watch any movies. That's so crazy. Yeah. I will catch like a 10-year-old TV series before I catch a movie. That's crazy. I don't keep up with nothing.
Well, I feel like you keep up with music pretty well, and I don't. Like my playlist is literally I might get one new song every few months just because that one song just happened to blow up really big. But I just listen to the same playlist.
Oh, it's a daily
over
thing
and
for
over.
Me.
So
it's a day. I have so many playlists. Like I have year playlists, like 2023 bops, 2024 bops, like, and I keep track of it, like what I've listened to throughout the year, what I've been keeping on repeat. Right. I was actually thinking the other day that maybe at the end of the year, I'm going to share my playlist for this year with the listeners so they can get their lives. So they can kind of have a year in review. Because I know there's a lot of music out there. And it's probably a lot of stuff that people missed. And there are a lot of, I'm going to say in quotes, obscure artists that I enjoy. And their music is so good. Like y'all would get y'all lives. So I think I'm gonna do that towards the end of the year before we take our break. At the end of the year, I'm gonna release it and let people bring in the new year with the 2024 bops.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. Yeah. But I don't keep up with the music as well. So I guess we all have our shortcomings. Yeah.
You cover movies and TV, I'll cover the music, and that way we got everything. All the
We're
bases
well-rounded.
covered. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. Well, there's nothing else. You ready to get into the show?
I am. Let's do it.
All right. I am up first. Y'all, we have a story from r/Am I the Asshole? Oh, and this one is a doozy. It is entitled, Am I the Asshole for Taking My Clothes Off at the Cheesecake Factory? Yeah.
Suspicious, but I'll reserve judgment.
And let's get into it. So me, 23-year-old female, and my boyfriend, 24-year-old male, was celebrating our 1-year anniversary and went out to dinner to celebrate. My boyfriend planned it as he knows how much I love the Cheesecake Factory. I really love cheesecake. More on this later. Well, everything was going fine and we were having a good time until an elderly man at the next table scooted his chair out just as our server was approaching, causing him to stumble and spill hot coffee on me down my back. Girl. It was obviously burning and startled me, so I instinctively screamed and pulled my shirt up.
As one would do when
when
scalded.
Scalded, right. I'm pretty small chested, so I don't typically wear a bra. And obviously I wasn't thinking about that when something hot was running down my back, burning me. So I basically flashed all those at the tables around us. Yes, I was embarrassed. And at the same time, it's just boobs. I pulled my shirt back down right after realizing what happened, but it was up for around 15 seconds. The server apologized over and over, but it wasn't their fault. It was just an accident. Well, anyway, after this, my boyfriend wanted to leave, like immediately leave. He said that I was being over dramatic for the way that I reacted in this situation, and maybe I was, but it did startle me really bad, and it did burn. He told me that I had to put on a show for everyone in the restaurant, especially since I screamed when it happened, and that we needed to leave. I told him it's not a big deal and that I really want to stay to get cheesecake because it's my favorite, and eventually even offered to try to get something to go. And he was dead set that we needed to leave and didn't understand why I wasn't mortified. We ended up staying, but for the rest of the date, he kept saying that the men at the other tables near us were staring at me and probably thinking about me inappropriately. But I said that it wasn't my fault if they were gross. Girl, yo, if you're listening to the podcast, I need y'all to pause. Go find this section on YouTube and please look at Kristal's face as I'm going through this story. When I tell y'all, the only way she would roll her eyes harder if she plucked them bitches out her head, rolled them around her hand like some dice, and threw them across the floor. I'm trying to read this story, and this is all I see. I love it. I love it. To wrap up, she says, when we got into the car, he told me that I ruined our anniversary for making him sit through that and we should have just left, and that he can't believe I would choose a piece of cheesecake over his comfortability. We argued in the car the whole way home about it, and now we haven't spoken all day. Am I the asshole?
I want to play the tiniest little violin for your boyfriend. Why don't we, pour hot scalding coffee down his back and see how he reacts?
Yeah.
If it's just as dramatic. I'd
have pissed Kristal off, y'all.
It just irritates me because you're talking about your comfortability, but at no point in the story am I hearing him ask, "Are you okay? What can I do for you? Did your boyfriend try to cover you to help you? What did he do for your comfortability when you were being burned alive?"
Yeah. Does he not realize that her shirt absorbed that liquid, so that heat is sitting in that cotton, right? And that cotton is sitting on her back, right, burning her. Yeah. Get this shit off me.
Right.
Girl.
And you want to talk about the men are probably sitting there staring. Sir, I would think you would know as a man. But she didn't have to flash your boobs for men to have those thoughts.
Because quiet as is kept, her shit is sitting just like this. Sir, we been looking. Okay? There's nothing. You when you walk in here, them things was at attention. Right. They keep restaurant, especially Cheesecake Factory. It's Cheesecake Factory, bitch. It's Sub-Zero in here. Mm-hmm. Them things is right and ready. You should have told her put a titty sack on when y'all was at the house. If you was so worried about it. Come on now.
Yeah, I'm going to say this is actually a great lesson for her, a learning moment. You just saw in real time how your boyfriend would react when you are hurt in an uncomfortable situation, mm-hmm, are being dramatic. If you were being dramatic, how he would handle a crisis, essentially. Yeah. He sounds like one of those men who would complain about you screaming when you're in labor. I would maybe rethink this relationship, because is that someone you want to be with? Is the real question. Let's think less about him. Mm-hmm. Think more about you, because it sounds like maybe you weren't doing that.
I I that would have been it. That would have been it for me. I ain't gonna hold you. Especially if we only been together for a year. You really showing me like who you are. Like you worried about you. I mean, I get like maybe his secondhand embarrassment was so bad that it flared up, his anxiety. And he was just like, oh my God, like I have to get out of here. If that's the case, you need to communicate that to me. Or you can get your shit and go. Catch you an Uber, baby. Leave me the keys.
Right.
Because one thing I'm finna do, bitch, I done came up here to Cheesecake Factory. I done sat down. I'm getting me a cheesecake.
Eating this cheesecake.
And I'm with you. It in here, okay? In the Arctic Circle that is the Cheesecake Factory. Me and my titties is going to enjoy this Oreo cheesecake.
Agreed.
Okay?
Agreed.
Girl,
1,000%.
You'll be lucky if I don't use my nipples as a fork. Like, are you... Anyway, I'm cutting up. I am cutting up. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah, not the asshole, but
not at all.
Definitely maybe rethink this a little bit. Maybe it is a communication problem. Maybe he doesn't know how to properly express himself, as most men don't. So maybe you want to have that talk and see if there's something salvageable. But for me, that's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag.
A flag on the play, penalty, whatever you want to call it. He needs to be up for review. Okay, when it comes time for that second year renewal, y'all, you know how they do end of year reviews for some employees. You need to sit down with that paperwork, lick that, like the teachers used to do back in the day. Lick that thumb, fold that paper over. Now, if you look at paragraph 2, section 5, this was the 35th offense in less than 6 months. For that, we cannot renew your contract. I'm so sorry. We appreciate your time. Yeah. We've already assembled your things. Yeah. To the left. No, to the left. Everything you own is in the box. To the left. Yeah. No, in the closet, that's my stuff. No, man. No, sir. If I bought it, please don't touch. Okay. Now you can keep talking that mess. That's fine. But you can also walk and talk at the same time. And it's my name that's on that jag. So go and get your bag and call you a cab. Standing in the front yard telling me how I'm such a fool. Talking about I ain't never gonna find a man like you. You got me twisted. Because you must not know about me. You must not know about me.
In case you guys didn't,
I can have another you in a minute. Matter of fact, he'll be here in a minute, baby. If anybody
we're gonna get copyrighted.
Oh, girl! If there was ever any dream of making a penny off of this video, dashed by Beyonce, Giselle Knowles Carter. Okay. Anyway,
TikTok's gonna be like, no.
And thank you.
Speaking of red flags, I have a story from the Am I the Asshole thread as well. And this one says, am I the asshole for bringing up divorce for my wife cheating after I cheated years ago?
Okay. Wow, I was not expecting that.
Okay.
Let's get into
it. Says, my wife and I have been together for 12 years and married for 9. We have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old. I had an affair with a mutual friend about a year after my 4-year-old was born, and I regret it. She was leaving with her husband to Germany, and I hadn't had sex for over a year because my wife did not want any sexual contact after the birth, and we slept together 6 times. I assumed my wife wouldn't find out, but she told my ex a year after our affair from Germany because she felt guilty and was leaving her husband. That was kind of a weird sentence, but basically the woman that went to Germany ended up telling his wife a year after. Yeah, because
he worded that weird.
Yeah. She either wanted to take me down with her or assumed we would divorce and we might get together. Either way, I groveled and begged my wife's forgiveness. She wanted to divorce, but didn't. I know she stayed mainly because of how hard it is to be a single mom, and I hoped she would eventually forgive me. She asked that I agree to let her have an affair like I did with someone of her choosing as a condition of staying married, and I stupidly agreed because I didn't think she would actually do it. It's been a long road, but I honestly thought she forgave the affair. We have been raising our children and having regular sex. We bought a house together and moved to be close to her parents. I thought this was behind us. 4 months ago, she told me she was having an affair with my newly divorced friend. I was absolutely shocked and angry, but she reminded me I agreed, and I did, but man, it sucks. She is way more manipulative than I thought possible because she waited until one of my close friends was divorced. I tried not to show it, but I was livid, and I feel so hurt. Yes, I know it's ironic because I cheated first. She has since finished the affair and told me it was the same length and number of experiences as mine. I haven't talked to that friend and I have no idea if I can ever again. He never reached out, so I assume it's the end of that friendship. I'm thinking of a divorce because clearly she never forgave me and I can't forgive her for this. I brought up divorce and she got mad and reminded me I gave her a free affair card years ago. I told her clearly by this I meant she hasn't forgiven me, and she said she had forgiven me the second she had her affair.
God damn. No, ma'am. Okay. I'm on your side, ma'am. But you just lied to that man. Because if you had forgiven him the moment that you had that affair, you wouldn't have done it 3 more times. You would have been like, hey, you know what? I'm good. I'm good. Like it's the pettiness of...
Maybe it was... She should have said,
I hate this whole situation.
You the minute I finished the affair. Maybe that's what she should have said.
And then I'm with you.
Yeah.
Then I'm with you. But when you said the minute you had the affair, now you lying. Okay? Right. Words mean things. Let's say what we mean and mean what we say. Okay? Because I would have argued that point until I was in the coffin. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I think they are both the asshole in this situation because that marriage should have been done. Mm-hmm. Girl, if it's going to be all that, if you're going to wait 10, whatever, however many years to wait for the perfect setup to go and do the same thing back to me that I did to you, bitch, why have we been playing? Why have we been wasting each other's lives? We only get one of these things. Why have we been wasting each other's lives in time when we could have just both got the fuck on and found somebody that was going to fulfill us and make us happy? Where we wouldn't have to be worried about this stuff. Girl, if you wanted to get your lick back, bitch, you should have got it back then. And we should have just left each other alone. Mm-hmm. It's the years in between that gets on my nerves. I wouldn't even be mad about the cheating. I would be mad about the amount of time that we have wasted. Because we getting a divorce. But we should have been got a divorce. You know what I'm saying? I could have had kids with somebody else. I could have had a totally different life. Like, why have we wasted this time? Was it worth it, girl? Was it worth it?
I would think more guy, because she wanted the divorce. He convinced her to stay in the marriage, and she came up with the condition, well, only if I could have the affair when and with who of my choosing. And he said yes. He said yes to it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Both of y'all dumb as hell.
They both are dumb. But if I had to place more, it's because he wasn't willing. He lied and said he was okay with this when he clearly never was. Because at the end of the day, he says, I thought she would never do it. So that's why I'm thinking I do think you're right. I think that everyone sucks in this situation, to be honest. They should have gotten a divorce when it happened. I do think he's probably right too, that she never truly forgave him, because I don't think most people ever really can forgive that type of betrayal, no matter what they say. I think there's always going to be a lingering question about your partner. But I do think he kind of brought this on himself because he underestimated her. He wants to sit there and say, oh, she's more manipulative, but no, sure, she's matching your energy. She did exactly what you did.
You are absolutely right.
So
you are absolutely right. That's what I'm saying. I'm not mad at what she did at all. Girl, get your lick back. You know, everything you say, I 100% agree with. My only thing is the time.
Yeah.
We wasted all of this time.
The 3
for
years.
What?
Yeah.
You don't want to be with me, lady. You don't want to be with me. Right. You've been mad at me this whole time. Yeah. If you wasn't, you wouldn't have did this shit all these years later. Mm-hmm. So why did we waste each other's time? Girl, you should have stood 10 toes down and say, no, fuck you. Like, it's you cheated on me, nigga. Like,
it's so funny because it's like, in the grand scheme of things, you know, because she waited, it sounds like she waited about 3 years is when she waited between this. And in the grand scheme of things, it's a lot of wasted time, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like all that long either. I mean, 3 years, like, because you got to think about it, you know, he had the affair, maybe it's less than that. It might have been 2 years, actually. He had the affair about a year after their youngest child, who is 4 now, was born. And then it was another year before the wife found out because that's when the mistress told her. So it's only been about 2 years. Yeah, 2 years is a long time, but at the same time, 2 years isn't that long either.
So when she found out, when she found out it had been 2 years since he cheated?
No, it had been 1 year. So the child was 1 when he had the affair. Okay. 1 and some change. And then the child was 2 when she found out about it. The child is now 4.
So it had been a year between when he had the affair and when she found out.
Yes.
Now, when did she have her affair?
2 years later. Because now the child is 4.
So it had been 3 years. Give or take. 3 years since he had his affair.
3 years since he had his affair. 2 years since
2 years since she knew about it.
Right.
Too long. Too long for you to get your lick back, girl.
True.
Waiting for my friend to...
But some people...
Like, I'm not mad at what she did. I will reiterate that.
Right.
I'm not mad at what she did at all. Mm-hmm. I'm just mad about the time. Like, girl, why would you waste your time like that?
Yeah.
To get that petty revenge? Because who is it? Who is it doing anything for?
Yeah. The only thing I can think of is maybe, and it's a strong maybe, but maybe she genuinely thought she would get her lick back. He would be like, all right, fine. You had your fun. I did my thing. And we are going to move on. And she did think that they would stay married.
But why would you want to do that to the person that you love? Why would you?
I don't know that. That's why I'm saying, anytime someone stays with someone who's cheated with them, I never will understand that.
Like, why would you, if you love this person, why would you want to deal that hurt back to them the way that they dealt it to you? Unless you planning to leave. Right. That I can see. But if you wanted to do that to me, you don't really fuck with them like that. Mm-hmm. Which is where I just come down to the point. Girl, why? Why? We wasted all each other's time. But I'm not mad at you, though.
Right.
Hate the player, not the game.
Right.
Okay? I'm not mad at you. But for me, he's the asshole for initially cheating. She the asshole for dragging this shit. Now, girl, if he was going to do it, get your back broke immediately. Go down there to the bar. Get you the biggest, strongest man that you can find. When he pulled out his pants, make sure he at least 1.5 inches longer than what you got at home. And girl, get your shit rocked. I'm talking about coming home, stutter stepping. So your husband be like, bitch, what's wrong with you? Boy, you won't believe what I just went through.
And that's the thing. I don't know her circumstances either. How she's got 2 kids now. One of them is very, very young. This might have just been the most convenient time for her. She's dealing with the betrayal of her husband, and this shocking affair, having kids. Who knows if she's a stay-at-home mom or not. That's why I'm like 2 years. Yeah, it can be long, but at the same time, is also kind of a short amount of time too. So maybe this was just the first opportunity it came up for her.
So she had another kid with him after he had an affair.
No, they have 2 kids. One is older. One is like 8 or something like that. And
okay, one is older. Okay.
Yeah.
Girl, because I'm about to say.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. So anyways, I think we can agree for the most part, everyone sucks, but like he sucks more.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
okay.
Girl, not even close.
Not even close. Okay.
You ready to move on?
We're moving on.
Now I'm gonna apologize to the listeners because I've been listening to podcasts and I know I hear people in the comments talking about, oh, I cannot stand when they be eating on the podcast, bitch. I'm hungry. Okay. I ate at 4:30 today. I have not eaten since. It is 9:19, y'all. I'm so hungry. I'm trying not to chew in y'all ear. I hope I'm not. Kristal, am I munching in people's ear?
I don't think so, but the swallowing might get them.
Am I swallowing hard on the mic? Oh, y'all, I'm so sorry. Okay. I'm gonna calm down. Moving on to the next section of the show. I forgot the order. I ain't even gonna hold you, Kristal.
I think
Kristal
it's
knows
next.
My mental is just. Kristal and I had a pre-show meeting. We had to delay the taping and everything, y'all. My mental was fuck. So I'm all over the place. And at this point, I'm just doing whatever the fuck. But I'm trying to stay professional. Okay. What I had to bring to y'all, we'll start off with a little celebrity nugget. Kristal, have you heard that Jennifer Lopez has finally filed for divorce from Ben Affleck?
I did see this, and I don't know how to feel about it. I was kind of rooting for them when they got back together, especially with the whole thing with A-Rod or whatever that she had just gotten out of. Maybe they did rush into the whole marriage thing. You know, maybe they thought because they had a past relationship and they were planning on getting married before that they could just, whatever problems they had before, they were old enough and more mature enough to deal with them. I don't know. Maybe they should have just dated first. But at the same time, you know, this is what, her fourth or fifth marriage or something?
Fourth in his second.
In his second, right. And so, I mean, from jump, there was rumors. The minute they got married, there was rumors they were divorcing immediately. It's, I don't know. It's just kind of sad. Like when you see these couples that end up getting back together years down the line, a part of you kind of roots for them a little bit, hoping that I kind of went through it a little bit with Miley Cyrus and Liam Hemsworth when they got back together. I was like, oh my God, like that's cool. I was for it, but yeah, I'm also not surprised with the amount of, just news. I mean, honestly, that's what broke them up in the first place, was the amount of coverage that was on them.
See, Bennifer Volume 1 was a little before my time. I wasn't really into celebrity culture when they were together. I was too young.
Right.
So this time around, I didn't really care. But I thought it was weird. Because they just didn't, to me, because I wasn't there for the first round, they just didn't seem compatible to me. Like, it just seemed like they came from two totally different spaces. They even operate in different spaces in Hollywood. So it just didn't seem compatible. But I was like, maybe they just have some insane chemistry behind the scenes that keeps the relationship alive. Obviously, it wasn't enough to keep a marriage alive.
Right.
Because she actually filed on the second anniversary of their wedding day. Not the original wedding day, because they got married in Vegas. But they had an actual wedding. And she filed for divorce on the second anniversary of that day. And the thing that I found out today that I found really intriguing was that she filed, right? But she filed what they call pro per, which means that she didn't send her paperwork through an attorney to the courthouse. She actually submitted it herself without an attorney. So that kind of goes to show you that she just wants a clean dissolution of their marriage. Like, and the rumors are that they have been since like April or something, going back and forth about how, because there's no prenup allegedly. So they're going back and forth against, shared properties and shared ventures and what money I made off of movies, what money you made off of movies and projects, you know, different stuff like that. It seems to me like she just wants to get this shit on the road. Another rumor is that I don't think Ben had really solidified that he was calling it quits. Mm-hmm. And she was just like, you know, we're not dragging this thing out. Let's just go ahead and did it and move on. So it's unfortunate.
That sounds like them anyways, because as you see, she's been married 4 times. I think it's, I don't want to necessarily say easier, but she's quicker to be like, okay, this is done. Let's move on. Whereas I feel like him and his marriage to the other Jennifer Garner, who I absolutely adore, I feel like they really did hold on to that as long as they possibly could before it was eventually over. So it sounds like Ben is more of someone who wants to try to hold on to things, even if he does know that it's probably dead and gone. Whereas Jennifer's like, no, this is done. Like, we're done. It's over.
Yeah. And I know a lot of people are talking about PR and that she was trying to save the marriage for the sake of PR, since it is her 4th marriage. And she's not going through the best time right now as far as PR. But there's a lot of stories coming out about her allegedly being a horrible human being behind the scenes, and people not liking to work with her on sets. And, you know, that she's just very pretentious. She thinks highly of herself. She doesn't really like interacting with people who aren't of use to her, you know, or of immediate use to her. Because even if you are of use to her, she still treats you like shit. Allegedly. So it seems like she's really trying to control the narrative here. Mm-hmm. And I think that plays into the whole her going down and presenting the divorce papers to the court herself. So we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens from here.
Yeah.
I hope the best for both of them. I think Jennifer just needs to go ahead and hang up that marriage hat, girl. Get a civil union and keep it pushing.
But there are just those people who just can't function without being in some sort of a relationship. And
I mean, you can be in a relationship, but you ain't got to be married.
Some people, that's their dream. That's their ultimate goal. And they're not satisfied until there's a ring on it in some capacity, because to them, that means that is their most ultimate happiness.
Okay.
I mean, I don't get it, but you right. All right.
You're right.
You got another celebrity nugget?
No, that was it.
Nah, that was it? Okay. So we're going to move on to something a little new. I wasn't sure how quickly I was going to be able to put something like this together. That's why we do have a celebrity nugget as well. So we're not going to do too many of these things because I don't want to clog up. We want to get back to our stories. But we're going to do a new little segment. I haven't named it. Again, if you guys have a name, if you think of something, let me know in the comments. It's too hard to think of all these segment names.
Right.
But this is moral dilemma questions. And I'm going to test Timmy's moral dilemma a little bit.
Ah, shit. Okay.
So, like I said, I didn't get to go too in depth with these. So these are pretty basic questions, I feel like, or basic prompts. But we're gonna do a little test. We're gonna see what kind of morale Timmy has.
Whoa, you didn't call me in a bad way today.
I know, right? I was like, when you were telling me everything, I was like, okay, well.
Girl, all right.
Okay, here's one. You are the captain of a sinking ship with a lifeboat that can only hold 10 people. But there are 20 people on board. You must decide who gets a spot in the lifeboat and who doesn't. What criteria do you use to make your decision?
Oh, this is easy. Oldest and youngest. However many. Oldest and youngest and everybody in the middle. Good luck.
I don't know if I would necessarily go with
because
oldest.
I can't leave the vulnerable of the population to fend for themselves. I know statistically the people in the middle, if they are able-bodied, have the best chance of survival compared to the oldest and the youngest of the group. Mm-hmm. So for my conscience, I would need to know, because I got to leave somebody behind. Right. I'd want to leave the person who has the best chance of survival behind.
Right. I could see that. That's not bad.
You think hard.
I was about to say, I mean, obviously.
Old bastards behind.
Because when you think about it, some of them, and who knows, maybe some of them would have volunteered and be like, I lived my life, so that would take a little bit of a burden off your shoulder. But yeah, I guess I didn't think about it that way. That makes sense. Okay.
Because I would tell the people in the middle, girl, even if you can't get on the boat, you young enough to cling on to the side or something, girl. We finna get away.
Yeah.
I only got space for 10 in the boat. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you would have to get to the situation like if you got like a 1, 2, 3, 4-year-old, 5-year-old, mm-hmm. and they mama with them.
Yeah.
It's finna get dicey.
Yeah.
Gertrude, I'm sorry, girl. You better hope Floyd can carry you on his back or something, because bitch I'm sorry. The mama got to go. He can't get on without his mama. Okay, I don't know where your kids at. You got to get it how you live, baby. I'm sorry. Mm. Now bring that walker over here, hang it, clip it to the side of the boat, and see what you can do. Don't let them tennis balls slip off. Okay. That was dark. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yeah. The next one. You are a doctor with access to a limited supply of life-saving medication that can cure one person completely or ease the suffering of several terminally ill patients for a short time. Do you give the full dose to one person or divide it among the others?
Oh, girl. That's hard. Do I give it to one person to save them, or do I give it to multiple people? Okay. This is going to sound terrible, but I'm just going to burst the shit on the floor and run. I'm sorry. I can't make this. I'm sorry. I can't make that decision. I'm gonna be like, y'all, and skedaddle. No, honestly, truly, if I'm the doctor, I would look at the prognoses, and whoever has the highest chance of survival is getting it.
Yeah.
That you I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah.
I there's no other way to create criteria where it's gonna be fair. Because if I give it to the most sick person, yeah, I'm gonna say their life, but the person who was like this close to survive it anyway is gonna have to watch that slip away from him. I can't. I wouldn't be able to take that hope away from that person. I'm taking the hope away from everybody else.
Yeah.
But at least I know for me that there was a bigger chance that there was nothing I can do for, the people who were even more terminally ill,
Yeah, I feel like in a way I agree. I feel like I would give it to the one person who could be cured completely versus the few that would only be cured for a short amount of time. Yeah. Now, granted, I don't know how much that short amount of time is. That might factor if I knew, like, would their short amount of time only be a couple months, a couple of years, like, because it's a big difference between, them being cured for like 5 years versus them only being cured for a few months, because people can do a lot in 5 years. And the person that I cure completely, they could get hit by a bus the very next day.
Come on. No, that's true.
I guess it's hard for me to make that decision too. On the surface, I feel like I want to cure the one person completely, but I don't know, because I don't know if I think I would need to know maybe how long the several would have.
Yeah. Yeah, because I just can't see me kicking y'all can down the road knowing that it's going to give y'all a little extra time with our family and stuff, but at the end, it's not really going to make a difference.
Right.
where I have the opportunity to make a difference for somebody. Like I don't think I could. Yeah.
Right.
Kick that can down the road.
Okay. You find a briefcase containing a large sum of money with no identification. You can anonymously donate the money to a charity that desperately needs it, or you can keep it for yourself to solve your financial problems. What do you do?
Girl, fuck that charity. That money is mine. I'm sorry. I'm going to do what I can with that money, and I'll get y'all on the back end. Okay? Because I will do something for y'all before y'all do something for me.
True.
You understand me?
True.
I still have the opportunity to help y'all. But bitch, this is bling bling. Bitches is bad. I'm sorry. That money is mine. You should have found it. if you was all that, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Chances are I ain't never heard of your charity. Bitch, it's a lot of charities out here. I'm sorry. I'll cut you a check once I invested and get some gains back, but other than that, baby, you snooze, you lose.
Right. I could see that. Honestly, I can't say for certain that I would just be giving it away to someone when I'm sitting here struggling too. I feel like a lot of people would probably feel that way.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Even
the
if
Lord
you don't
bless me. He didn't bless you. If he wanted you to have it, he would have set that goddamn briefcase on your front step.
That is true. All right. And then the last one, you discover that a close friend's partner is planning to commit a serious crime, but your friend is completely unaware and deeply in love. If you tell your friend, it might ruin their relationship and cause them emotional distress. Do you reveal what you know, or do you stay silent to protect your friend's feelings?
Mind the business that minds you. I'm silencio. I ain't telling nothing. What I got to do with this bitch? Now I'm in the conspiracy. If I tell somebody, I knew. If she don't want to tell the police and I don't tell the police and they get caught and they figure out that I knew, bitch, now I'm going to jail.
Right.
Ain't no fucking way. I'm keeping that to myself. Okay? If the robber don't know that I know, then baby, I'm in the clear.
See, now you're assuming it's a robbery. What if your person was, what if you found out she was, dating like a Ted Bundy?
Oh. I thought you were about to say terrorism. I better be like, okay, well now, I got to get on the phone. Okay? I got to get my phone. But if I found out that they was going to kill somebody, I'm going to the police. Fuck my friend. Okay? I'm like, bitch, you need to get out there. The call is coming from the house.
Inside the house.
Get out! Like, get out of there. I'm going to the police. I'm skipping the friend. I ain't even worried about that. But if you just going to rob a bank or something, I'm minding my business. I'm minding my business. I'm minding my business.
Like, that might be the Lord's blessing that's coming to you unwittingly. Because if they get a lot of money and
I was just, girl, please go rob Apple. Now, I don't mean that. Hold on, wait. I'm not telling our
screen
audience.
Goes blank.
I'm not telling our audience to go steal from Apple. Apple lawyers, calm down. Put the pens down. I did not say that. All I'm saying is, you are
not a president. What you say matters.
If Shaquanda's boyfriend, Dede, if I found out he going down to the local Apple store to boost some iPhone 17, 18, 19s that ain't hit the shelf yet, I'm going to be one of the first motherfuckers to boot them up when y'all announce them. Okay? When they go and say, I ain't trying to make the block hot. I'm going to wait till y'all put them out. But I'm going to be one of the first to boot it up. Okay? I'm going to pay $7.99 for my Apple iPhone 17.
I'm going to insist I pay for it. Right.
Okay. I'm going to pay my $7.99. $7.99.
99 cents. Right.
But it's going to come from the booster. I'm sorry. Okay. And I'm going to get my good girlfriend Kristal in there. Me and Kristal going to be at the booster house. Because if I'm going down, the show's going down. Okay.
We'll be doing the podcast from different jail cells.
Okay. Through the toilets. You know how they talk to each other? I'm like,
Nothing will
Kristal,
really change.
you gotta hold the chain and flush the toilet, right? So it creates a wind tunnel down the pipe. And that way, when I talk to you, damn, you a floor below me. My voice gonna carry through the pipe, bitch, and we can record like that, girl. Hello. It's gonna be a show for just the jailhouse. It's never gonna get on the internet.
No.
Everybody gonna have their ears to their toilets to listen to the podcast from the maximum security prison. Whoa. Okay. Based on the time, do you think I should bring up my other little thing, or should we just get on with the rest of the stories?
Well, my next story is kind of short.
Okay. And you know what? This is really short too, so I'll share it really fast.
Cool.
So this person asks in the subreddit, r/no stupid questions. She asks, do people practice sexual acts on friends? So she said this. So this is a really weird question, but one of my best friends, 22 male, who I've known since I was 7, made a joke about practicing sexual acts on each other. I instantly said it was weird and we laughed about it, and he said that he was joking. So she started thinking more about it and thought that she might prefer practicing on a friend that she's comfortable with and somebody that she trusts, rather than going out there and busting that thing wide open for anybody that she might come across. So she's now in a dilemma where she's like, should I hunch my friend and learn on my friend and risk ruining our friendship? Or should I go out there and, use up a bunch of bodies to learn something that I can learn on one person? What say you, Kristal?
And this is why sex work should be legal. Because that's essentially what you're looking for. Because I feel like you are right. I feel like you are potentially ruining your friendship just because I don't think he was joking. If he was joking, maybe this arrangement could work. But I think maybe he might have a crush on you. And so his feelings would be caught. Now, that's not to say that your feelings wouldn't be caught too. A lot of people think they can have these platonic things and then they start doing them and realize just how intimate it can be for them. And suddenly feelings are caught. And hey, maybe in the end, everything would work out for you guys. But that is a risk you are taking, because I do think that he already has feelings for you.
And girl.
But I don't think... Right. I don't think you're wrong for being curious and wanting to have a safe space to explore that. It doesn't necessarily have to, I don't know, maybe you can go on a dating site and find someone and be comfortable enough and find a connection or whatever. That's something that you will have to figure out. But I don't think it's wrong. Like, if you have someone that's in your life that you feel like you are comfortable enough to do that with, then, there's always going to be risks. There's always going to be risk. I mean, catching feelings, ruining friendship, that's always going to be a risk. But if it's worth it to you, if you think you can do it, hey, more power to you.
For me, the only concern is if one of y'all is better than the other. Because somebody is fixing to fall in love. If he hit the bottom of that thing just right, and then he learns that he's good at this, and he's like, "Oh, I got to go try this on the hoes."
Right.
And you be left like,
yeah,
he just ruined my life. Like, I'm never gonna have no opinion like that again in my life. I'm in love with that man. Or, if you got that gorilla grip, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is heaven," and you're like, "Oh my God, I got that gorilla grip. I can put it on him. I can make him want to marry me." Like, you know what I'm saying? And you get out there and you start ruining men's lives with that gorilla grip coochie. There's the potential for a power imbalance.
There is.
Right.
But I do feel like some people might benefit from it. I mean, just think about our guy from the very second episode that we ever did, the playlist man. He might have benefited from something like this.
Kristal, why would you?
Hudson Mohawk. I'm so sorry. That band is forever associated with this guy. But let's be real. He probably could have benefited from something like that.
I'm so mad at you. Why would you bring that up? You know,
for anyone who doesn't know, go watch our very second episode. I don't know which story it was, like how far into the episode, but it is a story that we covered where a gentleman had a sex playlist that his girlfriend, after 2 years, was finally over with because of his favorite song. If you would like to hear the song, it is by Hudson Mohawk. I forgot what the name of it is, though. But honestly, you can Google it because I'm pretty sure it's Seabat. Seabat, that's what it's called. Seabat. Hudson Mohawk Seabat. You're welcome.
I am crying. Kristal, I have not thought about that in so long, and it just popped up in my head. Oh my God. Thank you for that. Thank you for that, Kristal.
You're welcome.
That was a key. Yeah, please go back and listen to that episode because we got down laughing. Well, thank you for participating in that segment with me, Kristal. That was a lot of fun. Are you ready to close out the show?
Yes.
Let's do it. Once again, I've forgotten the flow of the show. I don't know if I'm next or you next.
I think technically I'm next because you just did this portion.
Boom.
So I will read my story. Now, I will say this. I had a story prepared. Literally, I came in here, I pulled it up. It was great. And then right before we started the show, it got refreshed and suddenly a story was gone. So I had to find this one on the fly. So I haven't really read it. So I'm sorry in advance if I stumble on my words a little bit. But this one says, am I the asshole for not wanting to go to my sister's wedding because she's getting married on my birthday?
Ooh. Okay.
So my 20 male sister, 25 female, is getting married on my birthday. When I found out the date she was planning on getting married, June 1st, I was very surprised. She told me about her plans last year and told me that it was because her fiance wanted to make sure his family would be able to fly, so he suggested that date since all the kids would be out of school by then. Understandable, I guess. Not really. I told her that I probably wouldn't be attending because I was going to be celebrating my birthday that day. She was upset and tried to get me to change my mind, but I didn't. Every time her wedding is brought up, she asks me if I'm planning on coming, and I tell her I'm not. She sent out an RSVP 1 week ago, and I RSVP'd no. This upset her again, and she was practically begging me to attend because she wants her brother there. I told her that I appreciate it and that I love her, but I would still not be attending. She kind of became argumentative with me about it, and I told her that I don't see why she'd expect me to celebrate my birthday during a wedding. I reminded her that when I first told her that I wasn't going to be attending, she had months to try and change the date. She told me that I could always celebrate my birthday that Friday, but I told her that I couldn't because I worked that Friday and I'm not celebrating my birthday on a Sunday. Both her and our parents have been asking me to reconsider since it's in 2 weeks. My parents have told me to be there for my sister. They said a birthday comes every year, but a wedding is only once. But I won't be 21 again, and I personally don't want to spend my birthday during a wedding. But now my birthday is going to be their anniversary going forward, so I'm not sure how that's going to work in the future. I honestly feel like they should have just chosen a different fucking date. I know I would have done that for her, but whatever. Am I wrong, or is she just ignorant?
As a man, why are you so obsessed with your birthday? Man up. Okay, go get you a cigar, whiskey, and a shotgun. Sit in a rocking chair with some dirty Crocs on and man the hell up. Okay? I ain't never heard no man get down and upset by his birthday like this before. Okay. Honestly, most men don't know their own birthday. Let's start there. Okay. If they have girlfriends or wives, their girlfriends or wives are reminding them that they had a day of birth. You are being ridiculous. Okay. Number one, you can absolutely celebrate your sister's wedding is actually the perfect place to turn up for your birthday. It's finna be a DJ there. It's finna be drinks there. It's finna be cake there. It's finna be a bomb ass dinner. What the fuck else do you want for your birthday? What else do you want? And to say, and I'm not celebrating my birthday on a Sunday. Well, bitch, what if your birthday was on a Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
What's the difference? You're not making sense, sir. And you know you're not making sense. You need to get over your fucking self. Number one, because you would have had one time as my sibling to tell me that you're not coming to my wedding. You won't hear from me again. Okay? I'm not finna beg you. If it comes down between my wedding day and your birthday and you know there are extenuating circumstances that led to this decision being made, there are people outside of you. Exactly. Thumbs down to the brother. Well, I was about to say something really mean. Mm-hmm. Get over yourself. Get over yourself. You are the asshole.
Yeah, I'm not going to really agree with that too much. Mostly because, and this might be one where they're kind of like everyone sucks, because at the end of the day, she was informed. They could have chosen any date. June 1st isn't anything particularly special to her. It just so happens to be a date that was where school was out and it was the first thing they thought of. I feel like they personally could have chosen the very next weekend and it still would have worked for them, for everyone to be off and for the kids to be out of school and for it to work out. Because now they run into a dilemma where every year there's going to be something. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to text you. It's my anniversary. So I forgot to wish you happy birthday. Oh, we're doing a vow renewal on our anniversary. Oh yeah, that's also your birthday. So sorry. You know, it's just, to me, there's some sort of conflict that's going to arise because now your anniversary is on my birthday every year. So you're inevitably going to want to always celebrate your anniversary, but maybe I'm going to want to celebrate my birthday. Also, yeah, there's going to be, you know, alcohol and food and family and stuff like that. But what if there's a limited amount of people that can come? So now he can't even be with his friends when he's turning 21, which for people in the US is a significant time. I'm sorry. I think they all suck, but I do think she could have changed the wedding date because this date isn't special to them. It's not, oh, it has to be June 1st because da-da-da-da-da. No, she was just like, oh, well, that's what he chose because the kids will be out of school.
But here's my thing. Your birthday isn't always going to be on a Saturday, right? Maybe this birthday is your 21st birthday and it's on a Saturday, so you want to turn it, you want to go out to the club, you work during the week. You don't want to celebrate on a Sunday because you got to go to work on Monday. Girl, I get it. But looking to the future, okay, yeah, the wedding anniversary and your birthday is going to fall on the same day. I mean, to be honest, the further you get along, the less they're going to do for their anniversary. But that's besides the point. Mm-hmm. If their anniversary fall in the middle of the week, girl, what's the odds that you finna be doing anything special anyway? You know what I'm saying? You probably going to wait to do something on the weekend.
Yeah, but still,
what if your sister has a child that shares your birthday? You finna be upset about that too? Oh, now I gotta share my birthday. I mean,
you can't, but that's something you can't control. You can't control when a child is being born necessarily. You can control when you get married. You chose my birthday. Why would you choose my birthday? Why can't you get married the following week? I don't think it has anything to do with it falling on an actual like day. Like, yeah, he's using that excuse this way, but I think at the end of the day, why did you choose my birthday of all days to get married when you could do it the following weekend or the weekend before that? To me, that would be the hang up. Like, I don't want to celebrate my birthday at your wedding. I'm sorry. Like, this is one day.
Time.
But it's not going to be one time. It's every year now. Every year, your anniversary, which you will be celebrating with your husband, is now on my birthday. So anytime I may want to invite you to do something with me on my birthday, it's now a conflict of interest because now it interferes with your wedding, your wedding anniversary.
But okay. I completely see where you're coming from, right? Mm-hmm. But who's to say, number one, that they're going to be doing something? Number one, the couple is going to be doing something every year to celebrate their anniversary. Because I've only been married for 4 years. And we didn't do shit. We did something the weekend after. You know, that's how we celebrated our anniversary. But the day of our anniversary, we just had a nice dinner. We could have done anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, his birthday is going to trump their anniversary every year after their wedding. Their wedding day is going to be the one day where they're going to trump your birthday. And I get it's a 21st birthday. It's a big birthday. Girl, whatever. You can still celebrate your birthday the day before or the day after. That next weekend, like, there's a lot of us. For example, my birthday last year, the party, that big ass party we had, it wasn't my fucking birthday. My birthday won't for another week. And I barely did anything on my actual birthday because my birthday was on Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's why to me, it's just like, girl, it's one birthday.
That's true. But it's also, you didn't have to have it on this day. To me, I think because you say your birthday's going to trump their wedding day every year after that, but that's not necessarily true. You don't know what kind of couple this is. They may be a pick-me couple where everything has to be about them. So every year she's going to want to celebrate her anniversary with her husband. You know, maybe it won't necessarily be on the actual day. You're right, but it is a potential for conflict just because they decided to choose his birthday when they can very easily choose another day. A compromise needed to be made, but I don't think it needed to be him. Okay. I can see, like, I don't necessarily, even though he's saying, oh, it's my 21st birthday, I don't necessarily think, I think it's just the fact that it's his birthday. You decided to choose out of all the days. That's when you decided to do it. Why can't you do it the following weekend or the weekend before? If it's truly just about when the family can come, and it was about the kids being out.
If we're thinking about it, he said it was a year in advance, right?
I think so.
And that's usually when you put your time on the books. But people been a year in advance is you pushing it to get a spot at a place, right?
Right.
Especially during them summer months. Who's to say the place that they wanted to have it at had the weekend before or the weekend after available? Because if it was me and my sibling's birthday just so happened to fall on this Saturday, and this is the one day this month that they got available that aligns with his family being available, because who know what summer plans they got after these weeks.
Right.
You know, just for everything to align. If it was on my brother or sister's birthday, girl, it's up and it's stuck. Like, you just gonna have to be mad at me because we really want this venue in this one day. But I get what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. If the circumstances were available for them to change the date, I still wouldn't have changed it. But I can see him being. I really can't. I can't lie. It's just I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I really don't.
We will agree to disagree on this one.
Yeah.
Because I feel like with the information he gave us, they probably could have changed their dates. Me as a sibling, I just know me, and I would want to make sure whatever day I decided to get married and have an anniversary therefore after, because it is my choice, I would want it to be a day that didn't conflict with anything else. So that's just me.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm glad to hear it.
Audiences, let me know. Are you Team Timmy on this one, or are you Team Kristal on this one? Like, how do you feel about this situation? I would really
maybe I just don't put the same amount of value on these things that other people put. We've discussed how I feel about weddings and all that different type of stuff. Like, I just really don't place the amount of value that some people put on those things.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just like, girl, let's just do this shit and get it over with. Like, what's all this rigmarole? Like, come on. It's
the older I got, most of the time I don't even remember when my birthday is coming up anyways until someone reminds me. And I almost never celebrate it truly. The most I do is maybe go out to dinner, maybe a movie, but that's about it. Like I don't remember the last time I had a birthday party. So for me, I'm perfectly okay with, the day kind of passing and it just, just my family kind of acknowledging it. Yeah. But regardless of that, I still feel like I would feel something. Like if my brother had come to me years ago and was like, yeah, we're deciding to get married on February 4th, I would have been like, what? Why? Why? To me, it just would feel some type of way that, especially if your excuse is just like, oh, well, we just wanted to make sure it was a day when, the kids would be out of school. Okay. You have 3 months of that in the summertime. Like,
and I feel like I would be like, it's lit. Like I would be so excited. Like,
yeah,
we finna.
I guess it would also depend on your sibling because I don't, girls tend to take things more, I don't know, passionately maybe. And so this, like I said, while you're saying, his birthday would be more important the years following, it may not be with her because that's now her anniversary. And so, true. Maybe not every year they'll be able to do it on exactly the anniversary, but it's the same thing. So maybe it falls the wedding anniversary birthday is on a Wednesday. Now they're both deciding to celebrate their stuff on that Saturday. It's just, there's going to be some sort of overlap in general. Or potentially in general. That's why I'm saying, like, I don't know. That's me.
We just gonna have to agree to disagree on this one. Mm-hmm. Girl, let's wrap this shit up. I ain't doing no more stories.
Because now I'm hungry.
Look, and now I'm sleepy. So let's wrap this show up. I hope that y'all enjoyed this smorgasbord that we threw together for y'all. We promise coming into the following weeks that I'll be more prepared to come in here and do what we got to do. Quick little aside. We have a very important episode coming up. It is our 50th episode. Our 50th episode.
That's so crazy.
We want to hear from y'all. Okay? We want to share some things on the show. If you have any tea, anything that you want us to talk about, if you have any well wishes for us, anything that you enjoyed about the show, please teaandcrystal@gmail.com. teaandcrystal@gmail.com. Leave it there or leave it in our DMs on any of our social medias, and we will share it here on the show. If you want to be anonymous, if you just want to share something nice and just write a little quip at the beginning or the end, please let me be anonymous. We will make sure that happens. But we want to have it be a community episode. We want to involve y'all. Y'all have been riding and dying for us, in coming up on, girl, it's almost a year we've been doing this. Mm-hmm. Almost a year we've been doing this podcast.
Yeah.
So we really want to hear from y'all day ones, y'all ones that's been rocking with us, what y'all have enjoyed over the past years, what y'all think we can improve. And anything new or something we've done before that you want to see. And we'll go from there with it. But nonetheless, we want to thank you all for joining us for another episode of the Tea and Crystals podcast. If you like what you heard, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you are listening. Make sure that you also leave us a written review. If you like what you saw, make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe on the YouTubes. If you have any questions, comments, or you would like to share your own story with us or do what I just asked you to do, please do so at teaandcrystal@gmail.com. That's teaandcrystal@gmail.com. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook by searching Tea and Crystals Podcast. Follow us on TikTok at Tea and Crystals Podcast and on Instagram at Tea and Crystals Pod. And make sure you look in the description wherever you are listening or watching for all of those links. Now, Kristal, is there anything you want to say to the people before we get the hell up out of her?
Don't forget to hit the comments and let us know for that last story. Who are you siding with? Team Timmy or Team Kristal? Because I would really love to know.
Tear me up.
Maybe not. Maybe not. So you never know. And just keep an ear out because we have been talking more and more about doing lives and what that's going to look like. So please continue to listen because news of that will be coming out very, very, very shortly. So thank you guys so much. We hope you enjoyed. We will see you next week. Let me not hit my mute button.
Girl.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.